How's it going, guys? Skoks, Chicago Blackhawks Central here. Gonna do the free agency recap. A wild, wild day from GMKD. Eight signings today. I have a nice rundown of the numbers of the year's salary, everything going on from today on Monday. Rumors started early in the morning about the Tyler Bertuzzi news, and then it just took off from there. So we will get into that right after this. Yeah, so let's start out today or tonight, taking a look at just these signings, and then we are also going to do a lineup prediction, very, very early lineup prediction, July, right? Beginning of July, the lineup prediction. It's crazy what went down today. Um, I guess overall, just thoughts on the moves. Maybe one or two extra signings that was little questionable, little interesting, but let's run through it right now. Let me pull it up right here so we can all take a look at it. Let's share that and let me know if you guys can see that just fine. Let me pop myself on the side. Or actually, you know what? This is better. Yep. Um, let's take a look at what is going on with the signings for today. But let's start off with the forwards. So this is not in order of how the announcements came out, right? But just a rundown of the full list. And let me pull up my graphic really quick. Thought that was really cool. Custom graphic. Figure that one out, but that's pretty cool. Pixelated Hawks in the locker room. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so let's take a look at the lineup. Tyler Bertuzzi. I had a feeling um, the Hawks would be interested in him, a grindy player. And let me pull up the what's it called? The signings from today, just to go through their um, just to go through the what's it called? The stats today. You know that would be nice to see, but a very interesting signing. Not sure if anyone else saw that. You know, in the works. And I think it's a good signing. I do like him as a player. He's a good talent, but he plays a rough game, and I think we do need some of that. And he has some skill, has some speed. I am a fan of the player, and I'm totally fine with the contract in years. But let me pull up the signing really quick. I don't know why I can't find it. Signings, and here it is. The signings for today. Let's see here. Team Hawks. All right. So the first signing was Tyler Bertuzzi. Let's check him out here. His stats from last season 23, 24. Tyler Bertuzzi. Let's see here. If I could pull up his stats. I'm trying to find his stats. Let's see. Let's see. And for some reason, I can't find stats. And it's right here. Okay, so Bertuzzi, 80 games played, awesome durability, 21 goals, 22 assists, 43 points total, right? In 80 games. So we paid 5.5 mil for 4 years. Totally fine with the term. I'm fine with the AAV, right? I am cool with that. In the playoffs, 7 games, 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 total points. Um, Solid all around signing, solid player, and I'm totally cool with it. So we could check the first one off, right? Decent signing, but possibly the best one, and maybe one that we predicted was the Tavo Teravainen signing. Just last night, Max and I, we basically just stapled in Tavo as our, uh, you know, big signing, and it turns out he's getting 100K less than Bertuzzi, but for 3 years. So very interesting contract. I'm fine with the term. I'm fine with the pay. 5.4 mil per year. Tavo, love what he brings. Let's check him out really quick. His stats from last year. Tavo Teravainen. Let's go down here. 29 years old, right? He's Finnish, 5'11", 191. Hawks legend. Hawks Stanley Cup champ in 2015. So nice to get Turbo Tavo back. Just awesome to see that. So last season, 76 games played, 25 goals, 28 assists, 53 total points, 53 in 76. Durable, right? Decent points. And we will go through the lineup later, but in the playoffs, 11 games played, 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points. Would like to see a little more output, but 6 points in 11 games, not terrible, not spectacular, but decent output from Tavo. And I can't wait to see him in the lineup, right? Let's see here. What's up, Lucy? Mildly surprised they didn't trade for anyone, right? Okay. I would really like them to go get Line A. Yeah. I think I also brought up Line A not too long ago, but I think after all the signings today, I just don't think that there's a lot of space left, right? Um, Looking at the younger players that would like to carve out a role soon with possibly Slaggert and Nazar, I just don't think that there's a lot of room right now. Maybe he looks at a trade like that mid-season at the deadline. Maybe we move off one or two of these veterans, and maybe we do bring in a contract like that. I think it's very possible for Line A when he gets cleared from his um, situation there in Columbus. But let's take a look at the third forward, Pat Maroon. I think this is my most questionable one. Just doesn't fit our play style. He's a bit of a character, but I think he's a fine person. Just don't think he fits very well with the lineup. And 1 year, 1.3 mil. You know, maybe he just doesn't make the lineup. Who knows? But we will figure out the lineup uh, here very very shortly. We will check out some options with it. But Craig Smith, another veteran winger, 1 year, 1 mil. Not gonna go crazy about it, and I think it's a pretty decent signing. Let's take a look at what's his name, Pat Maroon, really quick first. His stats. Let me pull it up for us. Patrick Maroon. How old is he now? He's 36. Pat Maroon. He's 6'2", 236. So he is a unit. Definitely a unit. And let's look at his stats. 36 years old. Wow, it's crazy now. Let's take a look at Pat Maroon last year. 4 goals, 12 assists, 16 points for the Wild in 49 games played. And I believe he got traded to the Bruins, and he only played 2 games, no points. The playoffs, he played 13 games, 2 assists total. So he's going to play that role on the fourth line. If he's in the lineup, consistently, we will see. But yeah, he is that fourth line player. Brings some character to the locker room, some character to the team. But I just don't think that the play style fits very well with us. So bit of a weird one, right? If you guys saw that one coming, I did not see Pat Maroon getting signed by the Hawks today. Definitely was not on my bingo card, but taking a look at Joey Anderson, glad to get him back on the roster. 2 years, 800K, so nice for Joey Anderson. Thought he was a consistent player last year on the wing with Foligno and Dickinson, just playing all around the lineup. I think he's a decent role player and definitely stepped up last season. For not having any quality bodies that we could throw on the wing, really. Um, Sort of took that like Taylor Reddish role, just being a consistent player. And Joey Anderson, yeah, I'm a fan of him. So nice to see him back. Alec Martinez, it's a little back and forth on him, mainly because of the 2014 goal, right? Knocking us out. Him on the LA Kings. I don't really care about that stuff right now. That's ancient history right now. But Alec Martinez, 1 year, 4 mil. I like it. It's cool. Um, Fills a role, fills a need for a D man. Would have loved to have a right handed D man, but Alex Martinez, I think he could get the job done. And only 1 year, so we'll see how that works out. And not too long ago, a few hours ago, GMKD kind of hinted by um, Charlie Romeliotis from NBC Sports Chicago a few hours before the signing. He said that maybe keep an eye out for a D man, a veteran D man. So there is TJ Brody right there. 2 years, 3.75. Uh, didn't think we really needed Brody. Uh, so Brody and Maroon, maybe two guys that we didn't really need, but it seems like Coach Luke and staff, they were talking about injuries last year and just our overall depth on the roster. We were completely depleted last season, right? Just everyone's out, everyone's hurt. It was terrible, right? But now we do have a few extra bodies. We have some depth there, and I guess that's nice to see, right? Um, Even though it's with like Maroon and Brody, but I'm fine with it. It's all right. It's not long term, and he could probably move off of it if he really needs to. So nothing too crazy on that. But taking a look at Laurent Brossois from the Jets, right? He was on the Knights. I believe he was on that cup winning um, Knights team, so that's good for him. Shout out to him. But 2 years, 3.3 mil, and this might have been the second biggest dub, second best signing today. Um, we could not run back next season with Arvid Soderblom as your backup goalie, and of course that would help. Like if we're trying to aim for that bottom five pick, and we very well might be bottom six, bottom seven still with Brossois, but I think he just gives a little more confidence in net for not only the fans but the players, the D men, having someone else in that little better quality as a goalie. And let's see how tall Brossois is. If he's taller than 6'2", 6'3", then that's awesome because I'm getting a little tired of these smaller goalies. But let's take a look at Brossois. Let's see. He's 31 years old, 2-year contract, and he's 6'3", 204. So that's awesome. That's cool to see, man. Let's get some goalies with a little more size. Like to see that. But in total for the day one of free agency, 5 forwards, 2 D-men, and 1 goalie. Crazy day, 8 total signings. What's up, BLJ? You think Taylor Hall will make an impact next season? Yeah. definitely see him carving out a role when he's healthy, and they have said that he's healthy, so can't wait to see him in the lineup. But I think that's a good time to head over to Cap Friendly and let's check out the lineups here. Let me pull it up right now, and we will take a look at Cap Friendly. Let's take a look at these lineups and how we think they're going to shape out here. So let's take a look at line one. Uh, Let me know if you guys have any ideas for some line combinations early on, right? You know, July 1st today. So we're just, spitballing a few lineups back and forth here. But it's cool to see the depth that we do have now and the options, the opportunities, for development. I think that's great to see. So let's take a look at the lineups. And once again, if you guys have any combinations, let's check them out. But this is what I put together a few hours ago before prepping up the show. But first line, Connor Bedard as 1C. Once again, I think he should stick at center. I think he can develop there just fine. He hasn't shown a lot of reason to move him. So, yeah, Connor at center. Philip Kershev, I feel like the chemistry is all there with those two, and I think you shouldn't split it up if it's um, if if it's working right. They played very very well together, and I think we all saw that last season. But Teuvo Teravainen, I think there's three guys that can rotate in that one left wing role with Tavo, Tyler Bertuzzi, and Taylor Hall. But just for today, early on, I've seen a lot of different lineups with Bertuzzi on line one, and I think that could work as well. More of a defensive, gritty type player, right? On line one with Bedard and Kershev, but just maximizing the skill, the speed, the playmaking, and the contract, right? Like we didn't sign him to be a bottom six player. He is definitely a top six guy in Tavo, right? And I think Tavo has developed his game enough that he could hold his own on both ends. So I did keep him on that first line on the wing along with Kurashev. I thought he developed his game very uh, solidly last season. I'm really surprised with Kershev. Just the role that he carved out last year. Think he's a decent player, and I think that line could definitely work. And if you rotate these top three wingers on the left, I think that can work as well. But line two, Jason Dickinson, sticking with the second center spot. Tyler Bertuzzi on the left with a little more bite, right? A little more grit on the wing. And I don't love handing out that winger spot, but I did go with Lucas Reichel on the two spot, whether it's at left wing, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter right now, the side, but Lucas Reichel at left wing, sure, and Tyler Bertuzzi on the right. But actually, let me switch that right now. If I could just swap them over. And where's Lucas? All right. Lucas right here. Kayev. Smith. Okay. So if that looks fine now. Yeah. Reichel as the second line left winger. Dickinson and Bertuzzi. Um, Bertuzzi and Jason Dickinson. Awesome two-way game. Skill there. Jason Dickinson, awesome season from him last year for his role. Right, he really stepped up, and shout out to him for that. Thought he played very very well. Lucas Reichel, this might be his last year. I know we signed him to the 2-year extension, right? And but if he doesn't show development, improvement this year, I, I don't know where KD's head is at with him. I would love to keep him around, but uh, just don't know, right? With Reichel, it's been disappointing up to this point, and it's not all on him, but I do think he will improve uh, greatly this season, and I really hope he does because I think he could definitely fit on that second line. Bertuzzi, Dickinson, and Lucas Reichel. BLJ, I think Bertuzzi will be a great addition to the second line. Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely think he could carve out that role. Would love him on the second line, and I think that's where he best fits, right? I think that's a nice role for him. Let's take a look at the third line. Double A Andreas Athanasiou for your 3C. I know they love running him at center. I don't love it, but I think they do. The coaching staff, I think that could work. Double A at 3C. Ilya Mikheyev for your third line right winger, and Taylor Hall as your third line left winger. I think that could be a very effective line. Taylor Hall, not great two way. Double A, he tries, but he's not great on the uh, defensive zone. Mikheyev, not great in the defensive zone, but lots of grit and grind, lots of speed and hustle. I think Mikheyev could complement those guys very well, and I think that could definitely work out. Taking a look at line four, Ryan Donato as your 4C, I think that's really nice. Uh, Looking at the season that he had last year, along with Craig Smith, veteran winger, and Nick Foligno, the unnamed captain, right? The unofficial captain last season, but we do have lots of new guys in the lineup this year. So, um, yeah, that fourth line is cool, man. Craig Smith, Ryan Donato, Nick Foligno, and Patrick Maroon and Joey Anderson as your extra forwards. Landon Slaggert, Frank Nazar, those are the question marks, right? Going into the season, do they make the lineup? Do they carve out a role here? Whether it's Frank Nazar on that second line and Jason Dickinson swaps down to your third center and Slaggert slides in for Craig Smith. So I think ideally, or maybe not ideally, but if they prove to really show it, is this a lineup that we might be able to see? Let me swap it for you guys really quick so you can see it. One, two, three, four. Let's see here. Andreas Athanasiou, Craig Smith. Yeah. So where would Ryan Donato fit in here? Does he get healthy scratched, or if someone's not playing well, Double A's out, and Ryan Donato is your 4C, which might be a bit better. But Double A is getting paid a decent amount there. It's kind of weird, but yeah, we will see. Or maybe it's just Frank Nazar and Double A slots in here. There's lots of options, lots of ways that this can go, but this would be a cool lineup to see with uh, Reichel, Nazar, Bedard, Slaggert as your younger forwards, right? And that would be nice if they prove to be ready for that spot. But let me just swap it back really quick. So I guess this is my early prediction, and Slaggert and Nazar are down in Rockford to start the season, and we will see how they carve out a role. But those are the forwards for now. BLJ, what's up here? Alec Martinez is a sneaky good pickup and number 5 defenseman, even for his age. Yeah. As you're about to see, I think he's going to be a lot better than our number 5. But let me pull it up. Let's move down here. Yeah. So as of right now, just looking at the options, and I know there's some talk with Korchinski starting in Rockford for next season, and I think that's very possible, and that's completely fine. But just an early prediction once again. Let's look at the first pairing: Alex Vlasic and Seth Jones. Consistent pairing, the most consistent pairing that we had last season. Um, Played great, and we want to improve there. Kevin Korchinski on the second pair, along with Alec Martinez. I know he is a lefty, but I believe he can play the right side. Didn't love the lefty, signing, but totally fine with that. Or, um, I know there's a lot of talk with Martinez being paired with Korchinski, but maybe we go like Connor Murphy, even Connor Murphy on the second pair, and Alec Martinez and TJ Brody on the third pair. That's another thing that can work, or Brody on the second pair with Korchinski. But I think Martinez would help out a lot just from his experience and, his long playoff runs, his success. And he's been a quality D man for a very long time now. Um, I think this is a very realistic defensive core. If you guys agree with those pairings there, um, I think that's where they might go, and I think it's a solid decor and something that will develop. With Vlasic continuing to get better, Korchinski developing, and you have the veterans to surround him. And we need the quality defense because last year definitely was not quality. Crevier's stepping in for a little while there, but I do like how that looks here with Vlasic, Jones, Korchinski, Martinez, Brody, and Connor Murphy. The goalies, Mrazek and Brossois, awesome, much better than having Soderblom in net. If you're looking to lose a lot of games, right, then you go with uh, Soderblom, right? But that is quality, and I think that just gives everyone a bit more confidence going into the season here. And every other day, just having a goalie that you at least trust in net, right? With Mrazek and Brossois. I think that wraps up the lineup. I'm not going to go through the Rockford lineup right now. We could save that for another time, maybe when some things are a little more official. But obviously, would love for Del Mastro, Kaiser, or Known Allen to earn a spot. We'll see how that works out with the decor. As I showed before, there it is. Yeah. So we'll see how it gets carved out here with the D-men and the forwards. Lots of stuff can happen. There's lots of time. It's only July, and I'm pretty happy with how the roster looks right now, how the lineup might look, and I think everyone's just looking to get better. Bedard, Reichel, and that's the little downside to just Bedard and Reichel in the lineup is it's a bunch of guys with short term, and they don't really have a lot to do with the long term future. So that's why I would love Nazar and or Slaggert to be in the lineup somehow. Doesn't have to be to start the season, but we'll see how it shapes out. But definitely hope to see both of those guys very soon in the lineup with the young forwards because you're going to need a few more young forwards in there. You have to develop at uh, a good pace, and letting them develop in Rockford is great as well. And then when they're ready, uh, bring them up, and it's time to get more ice time in the NHL. So loving the lineup, crazy free agency day to day, and don't expect any more signings. 8 total signings, 5 forwards, 2D, and 1 goalie. So we'll wrap that up here. Not much more news this week, but I can hop on in a day or two after the development camp wraps up, after more quotes, more news, more tidbits from the camp uh, release. And I know they're going to enjoy that a lot. Lots of eating, lots of fun around the city. Um, Sounds like a fun field trip, but yeah, definitely will be back soon, and I'll wrap up some development camp news. So we will be back then. We'll see you then. Let's go Hawks.